Hello, my name is Andrea, and this is High Literature, a program where I introduce stories and art to you, the viewer. I have here with me something I got, gosh, may have been a year ago, but I don't think I have shared it yet on the channel. It's called Anything Goes, and it's an anthology. This one is number 2, and it has this really great Frank Miller cover that you can see here, and there's like this new Hopi and Maggie story, and then we've got like all these other creators here that are in this issue, and yeah, got this about a year ago, and it is a lot of fun. The first story, it's an Alan Moore story that Don Simpson draws, and it's really spooky. It's called In Pictopia, and it's about this world that's comprised of like different comic neighborhoods. And so like for instance, there's this part where the protagonist goes to Funny Town, and it's basically like Toontown in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And like it's kind of like reading this reminded me of the Never-Ending Story, as far as like the nothing was just coming and just like absorbing everything, and just like all the different parts of Fantasia, or in the book Fantastica, were like disappearing as the nothing came and just like destroyed everything. And that's basically what's happening in this story. There's this character who is posted up at like the outskirts of the city, and he's talking about how like he just sees this darkness getting closer and closer, and it's just a really wild comic. In Funny Town, like it's talking about like there's no furniture or cars later than 1950. Everywhere people strolled, perfectly syncopated from sight gag to sight gag, but there wasn't any work for them. There wasn't any money. They were stuck here. So they're all like out of work, and they're all struggling. And there's this part, this little panel here. So this is like Funny Town, and you just see like all these old tiny cartoons, and then there's like this muscle car here with these like greaser rats, and then over across the bumper here it says Los Bros H. And so those are the Hernandez brothers, and then like underneath like the dog here it says Gary, so it's got to be Gary Groth. And it's just funny little stuff like that sprinkled throughout. Like there's this part here where they go to this bar, and you just see like all these different like comic strip characters in the background, and then there are these panels where like as the character's like talking and drinking, like his face is just like melting more and more like into his hands, and then down to the counter, and then down here it's like apologies to R. Crumb, just little stuff like that. And then it's talking about here like how he observes like these new heroes that are out and about now, and they're like torturing one of the old cartoons. And it's saying how like when you mutilate a funny, seconds later they're healed completely, and often they'll let you disfigure them for $1. And it's just so, it's a really eerie story, and the ending is, it's spooky. It's a perfect little Alan Moore comic, and the Don Simpson art is a lot of fun. And then it rolls over into the Hopi and Maggie story that Jaime does. If any of you are Locust fans, you'll probably recognize this, but as you can see, it's in color, so that's cool. And yeah, it's just this little story. This is like after, this is an early Locust story. Maggie, this is when she almost like dies in the explosion with Renya, and now she's back, and Ray and Race is coming to visit, and it's just neat seeing these comics that you typically see in black and white. They're in color, and I just love it. And then we have this strange Sam Keith story here. It's short and quick. And then we get some Jack Kirby action. And then a little bit more, and then an ad for another Don Simpson book. This is a very, very strange Jack Kirby piece. And this Don Simpson ad, it brought to mind Enemy Mine. I haven't seen that in a while. I'd like to watch it again. And then it rolls into this comic called Chrysalis by Jack Cronin and Dennis Fujitaki. And it's really neat. It's like it's written as a poem. And it's just basically about this girl who, like, she has these like weird lumps on her back, and she's like gets trapped on this tower and it's on fire, and she goes to jump, and then turns out that the lumps were like wings, and they sprouted for the first time, and then she flew away and she survived. Yay! The tiny girl was free at last, the lock on her heart no more. For the things that made her different were the same things enabling her to soar. How sweet. And then it goes into this Art Spiegelman comic about Walt Disney Lives. Very strange, very strange. But yeah, it's a neat little comic, neat little anthology. And I got in the mail a few days ago. Let's see what we've got here. Let's see what we got here. Hooray! Cool! This is Anything Goes number 5. Turtles! Hooray, hooray, how cool. So I now have number 2 and number 5. And I love it. We'll be like this. Yeah, there we go. How cool does that look? Love it, love it, love it. Love it, love it, love it. So let's see what's in here. Ooh, this is in much better condition than the other one. Cover is by Eastman and Laird. This is 1986. Oh, cool. So, here's the table of contents there. Dun, dun, dun. This is so neat. Fantastic World Comics. How cool does that look? Ah! Okay. So in the first panel up here, like they're loading up, they're looking at movie times, they're getting snacks, sodas, and then they're just traveling by any means necessary to go to the drive-in to watch Aliens. Oh my god, I love it. I love it. Can you imagine going to the drive-in to see Aliens with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? I can absolutely imagine that. How fun. Oh my god, look at these guys. Look at these guys. They were just having a ball. And can you blame them? I love that. How funny. Oh Lord. This is called a short history of sex. And I'm not going to show this. The Goose and the Gander were talking one night. This is 1977. This is the R. Crumb comic. Interesting. I've never seen this before. Have you guys ever seen that before? I've never seen this before. Oh. Captain Bizarre, Interstellar Gumshoe. Story and art by Don Lomax, and the lettering is Steve Hayne. This looks interesting. Meow, meow, meow. Interesting. We've got Little Orphan Annie comic. Hi, little mama. Hi. Hi, little baby. Keeps going. This is in such good condition. Oh, I'm so happy. Because the other one, it's a bit toe up. Oh, bless you. Oh, bless you. Oh, bless you. This is by Michael Kroger. This looks really interesting. I really like the lettering. I like the art. I like it. Oh, it's really cool. This is 72. Interesting. This is a story by William and Nadine Mesner-Loebs, colored by George Kokol, called Journey. Cool. Very neat. Oh, and the next issue, the next one has a Stun Sakai Usagi Ujimbo cover. I want it. So yeah, I like these little anthology comics. They're, oh, hello. They're fun. They're fun. It's like having, you know, it's like little books, short story collections. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So, another thing I would like to share. Let's see here. So, one of the last email communications I had with William Stout, this is dated 11/26/2024, and this was, you know, just a couple days before Thanksgiving. And I get this email from him accusing me. It says here, "Please tell me this isn't you. My mailbox has been suddenly flooded with dating site responses. One is an Asian women dating site. The other is Ashley Madison, a site for cheating spouses. I never subscribed to either site and immediately unsubscribed to both of them and deleted the emails, but not before I got about 50 responses. If this was a joke, I don't find it funny. It's creepy." Spoiler alert, it wasn't me. It was not me. But I do find it interesting that clearly there's somebody else out there who has whatever kind of feelings, for whatever kinds of reasons, about this man, that they would do something like that. And not only do something like that, but they did it like over the holidays. They did it over like Thanksgiving week, like, you know, just a couple days before Thanksgiving, which I find hilarious. And I just am so curious who that person is. Who did do that? Because, yeah, it wasn't me. I did not do that. I wonder who did it and for what reason. But it seems to me that it's safe to presume that there's somebody else out there who is feeling salty towards this man, who was motivated to try and send a message saying, hey, if you want to step out on your wife so bad, here are some websites for that. Here are women that are actually, you know, willing and able to do such a thing. Why don't you go bother them and maybe leave me alone? I say maybe because, I don't know, I'm just guessing. But interesting that happened. So curious who that could be and what made them do that over the holidays. fascinating stuff. Well, I will go ahead and end this today. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening. Thanks for your support. And yeah, because this has not been, you know, super freaking awesome. It's actually been the opposite of that. But, you know, a country girl can't survive, so here we are. Until next time, hope you all had a wonderful, relaxing weekend, and I will talk to you soon.